Hi, again, this is Heather Collier, and I just wanted to bring you the latest criminal law updates. This one's a big one because it deals with the Fifth Amendment right that the defendant has in a criminal trial not to testify, and how that right not to testify and to remain silent during a trial cannot be used against them. That was up until the Alabama Supreme Court came back and said, no, no, if you decide not to testify at trial now, what can happen is the prosecutor can use that against you in their case in chief, or in their or not in their case in chief, but in their closing statements, and bring light to the fact that you chose not to testify for whatever reason. And doing that, I think, sets forth a bunch of issues because normally that right in Alabama had always been protected. And, excuse me, I'm recovering from being sick. But now what'll happen is that will be in the jury's mind, and the jury can use that and the fact that you did not testify as evidence of your guilt and in your deliberations. The Alabama Supreme Court came back, I believe, in an 8-1 decision and said, no, it can now be used against you. And the feds, even the federal law, the feds say, if you choose not to testify, that cannot be used against you in the courtroom. And apparently Alabama doesn't agree. So that creates all sorts of issues. You can thank Chief Judge Roy Moore for that. And I've got the article on my website for those of you who want to look into the matter further or review it and that type of thing. It happened in a case that was a Winn-Dixie robbery case out of Mobile, Alabama. And that in that case, the defendant chose not to testify. And the prosecutor said in his closing statements, everybody that was a witness to this case chose to testify, except the defendant. And he pointed at the defendant, and defense counsel objected, vigorously objected, and unfortunately, he was convicted, and it went up on appeal, and the Supreme Court came back, and they went all the way past the Court of Appeals to the Alabama Supreme Court. The Alabama Supreme Court said, no, you know what? It can now be used against you if you choose to remain silent and not take the stand. So again, if you have any questions on that ruling or anything like that, I imagine it's going to open the floodgates in terms of appeals and constitutional rights and that type of thing being violated. And I can completely see if, the American Civil Liberties Union and those types of organizations decide to get involved in this matter. And I'm pretty sure, there'll probably be amicus curiae briefs coming down and that type of thing as well. So again, if you have any questions, please feel free to call me. You can reach me at 251-943-4870. Again, that's 251-943-4870. And this is Heather Collier, and I'll be happy to help you. Thank you.